This team has generally made home turf very, very favorable in the past, and this year it's just not been there. And the surprising thing is that the stuff they're doing on the road, which is to say their offense is coming up with big plays late in games, and that's a big reason they're 3-0 on the road, is not happening at home. Both of their home field losses, they had chances with the ball in the fourth quarter and didn't execute, and that's got to change, and they're very well aware of that.
Where it's got to change is offense has got to start being more offensive.
Well, 100%. You can't quibble with the defense in all 5 games, as a matter of fact. The defense has been marvelous. Everything that they could have asked of them and more, quite frankly. But it's up to the offense. It's on the shoulders of the guys like Henry Burris, like Joffrey Reynolds, like Nick Lewis, like Romby Bryant. Those guys have to deliver, and they have to deliver when it counts. And that's been the fourth quarter, and that's been the issue.
Who would you suggest we keep an eye on this week?
Well, we mentioned the likes of Burris and Reynolds and Romby Bryant, but I'm looking forward to seeing Landon Talley back on the field. He had a terrific game earlier this year when he filled in for the injured Kenyon Rambo out in BC. Was contributing on offense, was contributing on special teams, and it's looking like he's going to get a chance Saturday night again with Kenyon Rambo out with a bit of an Achilles tweak. And Landon Talley has been terrific in practice this week, catching everything that's thrown at him, and just a guy that the Stampeders have really wanted to get on the field, but it's impossible to get him on the field based on the ratio and based on the receivers they already have. So here's a chance, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do against that Ticat defense.
Really says something about the depth of the Stampeders as well.
Well, and it says something about what's required to win in this league is to have guys up your sleeve like Landon Talley. That just doesn't happen very often, where a team can throw a guy of Landon Talley's caliber into the fire and expect him to deliver like he has always. And I'm kind of interested to see what's in the mind of a guy like Corey Chamblin, the Hamilton Tiger Cats defensive coordinator, who of course spent 3 years here as the defensive backs coach. He knows what a guy like Landon Talley is capable of, and I'm sure Landon Talley's name has been very prominent during the Hamilton defensive meetings this week.
We should also keep an eye on number 29, Jeff Tisdale.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeff Tisdale gets a chance against his old team. He spent 3 years with the Tiger Cats before signing here as a free agent this past offseason. I'm sure he's excited to play against those guys, although a little of the luster of playing them probably was lost earlier this week with the trade of Arland Bruce to the BC Lions, but still there's some weapons that he is very, very well aware of on that team. Dave Stallo, of course. Dave Stallo has been terrific for them this year, and I'm sure Jeff Tisdale will be seeing a lot of him, and their new star, Chris Williams, as well. So yeah, Jeff Tisdale, I'm sure, is very, very excited to finally play this game, and I'm sure he had it circled on the calendar as soon as he signed with the Stampeders.
An unsurprising shakeup in the quarterback position. Drew Tate's back.
Yeah, I mean, that was written in stone the moment they signed Michael Bishop to back up Henry Burris. Bishop knew that as soon as Drew Tate was back healthy, that he would be sent down the road with a thank you note and a few $1,000s in his pocket, and that's basically what happened this week. Drew Tate, that dislocated shoulder, his left shoulder, let's try that again, that he suffered in the preseason, seems to be back at full health, and according to all reports, probably is even stronger than it was prior to the injury. So it's good that he's back in the lineup, and maybe the Stampeders have a few more options available to them now that they didn't with Michael Bishop.
Michael Bishop had a touchdown and a couple of short rushes. Any chance he'll resurface in the CFL?
It would have to be a similar set of circumstances. Michael Bishop wasn't signed to come in here and win games. He was signed to come in here and fill a hole for a few weeks. If that, and you know what, he did it capably, and that probably put him on the list for a few other teams in this league if there's a similar circumstance, but it would have to be a similar circumstance.
But who would have thought in Week 6 a game against Hamilton would have quite a bit of importance?
No question, and that's just the way the Stampeders have been playing. You know, the Ticats, they're a good team, and I don't think anybody thought that 0-2 start was a sign of things to come. And you know, they played well against Montreal last week. I like that offense. The defense still has some issues probably, but it's a good, solid team. It's the Stampeders that I think are the surprising aspect, that they've struggled so mightily at home, and yet 3-2 and still in the hunt for first place in the West Division. If they can win games at home like they've been doing on the road, they'll be fine.